Do you love your tsunderes? The cold shoulder giving girls that always have a little bit of a blush on their face, the ones that drive the main character crazy, makes them believe they absolutely hate them, while all the while, deep down inside, they're actually doki doki? Well, do I have a show for you? A show that has seemingly nothing but tsunderes. My friend's little sister has it in for me. Yes, a series where it seems like you have, the friend's little sister who's driving him crazy back at his place. You have the girl from his childhood that went to an all-girls school and she calls him a pervert. You have even the teacher comes into class and immediately calls all the students pigs. Yes, that's My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me, a new series in the fall 2025 anime season. And yes, a series that coming into the season, I didn't want to give much expectations for. I wanted to keep my levels low, and that was mainly around the synopsis and the PV not looking too good. And yes, sure enough, after watching the first episode, the show still doesn't look good. It really does feel like Ghost Mikawa, the writer behind the series, just doesn't get very good budgets for his shows. Although, with the last adaptation they had, Days of My Stepsister, it seemed like the director and the team did an incredible job with what they had. Doesn't seem like the case with this one. Although, Blade is doing a decent job of at least giving us nice spicy shots here and there. Some good fan service here and there. But yes, I did want to be excited for the show, and that was really around Ghost Mikawa. I absolutely loved Days of My Stepsister. And why I loved it so much is that they took a trope, which is the idea of step-siblings, and really broke it. Broke the idea of Wincest. It opens up with the idea that, yes, in light novels and whatnot, it's all about, two siblings getting together and having a romance and whatnot. That doesn't happen in the real world. And now our main character is stuck with a step-sibling, and romance is happening, but then they break it. This writer's really good with messing with tropes. And so, yes, I do have a little bit of hope that that might be the case with this one. And seemingly, after the first episode, that hope level is going up. It does seem like My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me is a series that's going to be a lot more fun and comical, but it does seem like they're still going to be doing that kind of stuff, and that's kind of boosted my expectations for the show. But yes, before I get too much into this stuff, let's talk about what My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me is about. It opens up with a guy named Akitero. And Akitero seems like he is all about efficiency. While everybody around him and his class and whatnot, they're all about, not worrying about the future. His mindset is that every day counts. Every step you take, every minute is another step towards, you passing away. And so he wants to focus on extreme efficiency. Every minute he's trying to do something towards his future. And yes, it seems like his current focus, his current plan is to join his uncle's company, an entertainment company. And he's gone so far as to get together a team in order to actually make a video game that he's actually put out there and got like 1 million downloads. Well, on the side, there's a distraction from these plans that he has, and that's the idea of his friend's little sister, Iroha. Iroha seemingly spends her entire day and night trying to make his life miserable. It shows him going home and she is there on his bed and she's got the music blaring and everything. He gets a phone call from his uncle about his application and she's trying to sabotage him the entire time. This girl is just driving him crazy. There's a concept here in the idea that he believes that while everybody claims that girls will try to drive you crazy and bug you and treat you horribly because they're interested in you and they're trying to get your attention, he believes that's all just like fictitious. That's all fantasy. And that yes, everybody that treats him horribly continues to treat him horribly, and he has no love prospects. But yes, going back to the phone call that he gets from his uncle. His uncle says, hey, I got your application, but it looks like you didn't go and do our exam, so it tells me that you're not really ready for society. You're not going through the usual steps. But I'm going to make an exception. I have some terms, and I'll accept your application. Then he proceeds to ask him, do you have a girlfriend? At which point, Iroha, who's in the room, overhears this and starts to, try to cozy up to him and make noises so that the uncle hears it and finds out that, yes, he's there with a girl in his room. Akitaro tries to kind of shoo her off and say, no, it's because I have a cat. Later on, he ends up meeting with the uncle, in which the uncle says that he has someone else coming there to meet him. And it turns out to be his daughter, Mashiro. Now, Akitero has known Mashiro in the past. They actually used to play together. Well, Mashiro has been going to an all-girls school this entire time, and something has happened at the school leading to her not going to school anymore. And so in order to get some sort of change in life, she wants to be transferred to another school. And so the uncle has agreed to the idea of transferring her to Akitero's school under terms that she has to agree to, which is what he presents to both of them. There's a term for Akitero joining his company, and there's a term for Mashiro being able to transfer, and that's the two of them fake a relationship. That way, Mashiro going to a place that's going to be co-ed now will be protected by Akitero. Yes, he's a very overly protective father. And he wants Akitero, somebody that he can trust, to pretty much protect his daughter. To which Akitaro agrees to it, and that's basically the gist of the show so far. So my thoughts on the show. I actually am really enjoying the show. It's really around the chemistry itself. And yes, I do fancy myself a tsundere. Now, not all tsunderes work out for me. Yes, overly violent types sometimes kind of ruin it for me, but I think this one's working out very well. And again, I do have a lot of trust for Ghost in what they do with their characters, what they do with tropes. And like I said earlier, I really do feel like they do have some plans to sort of break this trope a little bit. The whole theme of the entire show seems to be around the idea of, yes, girls treating him horribly, and everybody telling him that's a sign they like you. Even Akitaro's friend, who is Iroha's brother, even he's saying, I think my sister likes you. And he's like, there's no way. She's driving me crazy. She does nothing but make my life miserable. It's like, dude, you're not getting it. And even later on, she because she heard this whole conversation with the uncle, she's like confessing to him and everything and saying, I actually like you. Take a hint. You're too focused on way future. You're not looking at what's right in front of you. I don't want to get left behind. Then, oh, just kidding. You actually thought that was true. Look, you're all embarrassed and everything. Ha ha ha. I've always wanted to do that to you. There is like this emphasis about how these girls are so mean to him, but yet there's also statements made by like the uncle about, yeah, if you want somebody to know they like you, you have to come out and say it. The idea of tsundere doesn't work in the real world. They're at the diner and he basically just tells this waitress that her fingers are beautiful or whatever, and she gets all doki doki and runs off, and he's like, why would you do that, man? I think that was wrong. It's like, no, if you don't tell them what you think of them, you're never going to get your feelings across. So it already seems like in this first episode, Ghost is kind of already cooking up something. They're cooking up some element of the tsundere being sort of a trope that they want to break. Everybody's saying they like you, everybody's treating me horribly, but this is all fantasy. Nobody treats somebody horribly. If you like somebody, you'd want to pursue them and treat them nice. You'd want to draw them in. You wouldn't want to push them away. Iroha is already obviously showing that she is just a nasty little runt, which I absolutely love. Her little antics, going to his place, blurring up the music, him coming in the house and her saying, you shouldn't just barge into somebody's house. He's like, this is literally my house. What are you talking about? And she's got the key and she's putting her cleavage and hiding it away, saying that she's going to tell the police that he did something horrible if he calls the police on her. She's a nasty little twerp and I love it. But she's also got that like little bit of flirtatiousness there too. She's always kind of showing stuff. She's flaunting things, getting very close and personal with him. It seems like she's obviously trying to flaunt something at him and draw him in, but she sort of falls in the realms of a tsundere where once they finally go to grab, they say, oh, it was all a lie. I was just teasing you and you actually fell for it. She's that type of tsundere. Very flirtatious, while when you go to grab the gold, they pull it away and say, haha, you thought you had it. Mashido seems like the type that would be constantly rejecting and always putting up a barrier. Yes, technically they have spent time together in the past, but now their first reintroduction is literally him walking into the bathroom and she's in there. And so every time that he's wanting to work with her or whatever, she's calling him a pervert. Our other tsundere that we introduce is the teacher. Her introduction is literally walking into the room full of kids and saying, you're all pigs. And of course the guys are like, oh, okay, oink, oink. They all want to be called pigs. She's going to be a curiosity going forward for sure. Again, it seems to be setting up every single one of these girls to be some sort of tsundere, and them all technically all liking him in some way. And yes, it's seeming like everybody around them is seeing that they're in a relationship. Even the brother of Iroha is like, she likes you, and are you guys going out? You got to be going out. Why would you not be going out? It's all the signs seem to be pointing to that. My assumption, the direction that it can be going from here is, yes, in the next episode, you're going to obviously have Mashido coming to school. Akitaro is going to have to announce to everybody that they're going out in order to, again, put that shield up for Mashido. And that's probably going to push Iroha to start stepping forward. She's obviously going to see that something is happening here. I would assume that very quickly she's probably going to see through the relationship, see that nothing's really happening, or at least prodding Akitaro because she knows how he is, that he wouldn't actually want to have a relationship. She's going to know him so well, she's going to know it's fake. And I'm assuming that's going to lead to her wanting to be a lot more heavy on him, trying to push the buttons a little bit more, a lot quicker. There's all for me to say that they've really set something up good here. I'm liking the chemistry. I'm liking the interactions. It's goofy. I like the characters already. It's got a little bit of a sign there that the writer could break this trope. The only thing that's really not on all cylinders is just the quality of the visuals. That's the only part that I can really say is just not working for me so far. But it's got a lot of promise, and I'm really looking forward to the coming episodes. So Thankfully, things are looking up. Again, I like to put that little cautious expectations on some stuff. I don't want to believe that everything that Ghost Mikawa is going to touch is going to be gold, because eventually I will get let down. It's happened with other creators. It could happen here as well, but we'll see where things go from here. But that's my thoughts so far on My Friend's Little Sister Has It In For Me. Hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and want to support more, become a member of the channel. Until next time, y'all take care.